Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Myles and Murph podcast. I'm Myles.
I'm Murph.
And today we have Myles' Wacky Pitches! Yeah, I thought it would be fun to subject Murph to torture. And by that I mean make him sit through my wonderful, totally awesome video game ideas that he refuses to listen to on every other daily basis.
I would like to clarify before this episode really starts. I have no creative input in this episode. I'm basically a captor. My leg is handcuffed to the table.
That is not true.
I cannot leave. I mean, I don't know. Is it true? They'll never know.
I'm looking at you.
They'll never know.
Okay, I guess you're right.
Continue. Go on.
So, I thought it would be fun. I have a little bit of a spiel before we get into this. It's a brief spiel. Hold on before you get angry. You say you have no creative input. That means I get to take this by the reins.
Now, well, hold the phone.
No, but give the phone to me.
Hold the phone. Now give the phone to me.
Purely by coincidence, all three of the pitches I have for today are for Nintendo franchises, all of which have anniversaries coming up. 2025 is the 40th anniversary of Mario, which, I mean, that's fine. It's okay. But 2026 is the 40th anniversary of Zelda and the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. And with the Switch 2 actually finally getting some concrete leaks this week, and obviously being right around the corner along with those anniversaries, I thought it would be cool for me to pitch these ideas and talk about these three franchises briefly, just for fun, in a less structured video for the two of us.
Okay.
So
I'm not even here. It's just like a voice box with a couple different phrases.
Yeah,
sounds good, bro.
Yeah. So I have a Mario pitch, a Pokemon pitch, and a Zelda pitch. Honestly,
let's make this interesting.
Outside of this,
let's make this interesting.
Next year being the 40th anniversary of Zelda, I think that we're gonna get Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask on the Switch, but that's neither here nor there.
Let's make this interesting.
What's that?
I am gonna play. Not devil's advocate. That'd be.
Are you gonna play Shark Tank? Are we gonna play Shark Tank? And you're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna be super negative, and you have to convince me they're good.
I don't think.
Instead of being open to your idea, I'm gonna say, "This is garbage." Convince me it's good. Go on.
I don't think I want to do that.
Well, I want to do that. Go on. I don't think I want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
I'm not doing that, Dutch.
Yeah. No, I want some solid conversation here because.
No, I'm gonna be honest, but like.
Okay.
I'm gonna
start with my most simple idea. The Mario pitch.
Remember in space? Fuck, they did that already. No! Dang it!
You're not far. Ironically, you're not far off. It's not Galaxy 3, but I want you to take the concept of a Mario platformer and a little game, two games on the PlayStation called Steep and Riders Republic. Now, I know that sounds really confusing. You're giving me a weird look.
That's Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
No, it is not.
That is your exact.
You're not letting me finish. You gotta be like Kanye and let me finish.
Do not be like Kanye.
Instead of snow sports like in Steep, like I guess technically like in Riders Republic, add in biking, skateboarding, street parkour, freerunning, climbing buildings, and swimming. Take 3D Mario level design aspects and give me a character select screen of every spin-off character. Make all of them good at different parts of the parkour. Make it a 3D Mario game, but with more than just running around, like jumping as the traversal.
So does like Wario just roll around?
He could. I'm imagining like we get Donkey Kong.
Like Sonic, but slow.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. I'm imagining it's a 3D Mario game, but you have like whatever you want as the means of traversal, and like various characters being better at various things. Give us Mario, give us Luigi, give us Wario, Waluigi, Rosalina, Spike. Give
Luigi.
Us... What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Give us all of them. Give me Rosalina. Give me Pauline. Give me Peach. Give me Peachette. Bowser would not be the main villain. He's unlockable.
Bowsette.
Now we're talking. Literally a chain chomp. I don't care. Give me the spin-off roster of Mario characters and give us a more interesting 3D Mario platformer that actually acknowledges like more Mario stuff. And because it would be an anniversary-esque game, have it so that way there are notable references to every Mario game, every 3D Mario game. Have Isle Delfino. Have Princess Peach's Castle from 64. Have New Donk City be a level.
Have the question mark from Super Mario RPG.
The Vibe Scepter from Paper Mario.
That's not what it's...
The Vibe Scepter from Paper Mario and the question mark from Mario RPG are allegedly not the same object.
And then also the thing from Super Princess Peach.
Yeah.
She has to get back. Okay, move on.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is just like, give me a 3D Mario game with crazy traversal and give me more than just Mario and Luigi. Because I'm tired of it. We have access to all these characters, and I think it would be funny if this is the game that Waluigi finally gets a real playable Mario 3D spot in. I thought it would be interesting. You're looking at it. You're looking at me like there's nothing here. I feel like that it just sounds too complicated to seem good from the get-go.
Okay, well, you elaborating and saying all those characters and all that stuff, and like the biking and all that stuff, like I don't really. I think it's unnecessary. I think if you're just like, hey, I want the next 3D Mario. I want more playable characters, and I want better like movement. I feel like that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah,
I would like that.
I do think that like there being more characters is the more important portion here, because I'm tired of it just being like okay, why is Donkey Kong in the Mario spin-off games if he's nowhere else other than the Mario and Donkey Kong games? Like Yoshi, we only
Mario
ever get
ate him?
Yoshi. What?
Mario ate him.
Oh, I hadn't considered.
Maybe he's a delicacy. I don't know.
No. Mario eats monkey?
Monkey.
No. So, basically the idea is...
Winton.
What?
I'm not elaborating.
Not unlike, obviously, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, everybody would have their own proficiencies and what they're better at. Like, Waluigi would be better at swimming because he's got that lanky-ass build. And, like, Donkey Kong would be better at climbing vertical shit because he's Donkey Kong. But yeah, that's kind of the basis of that idea. And obviously, because it's an anniversary one, like, throw in level designs and aspects from every other Mario game. Give me Galaxy Planet Gravity. Give me Sunshine Flood stuff. Give me Super Mario 64 terrible parkour. Give me, and I know you're going to look at me like I'm a criminal because 64 is great.
It is great, you're wrong.
Give me, like, aspects from 3D World and 3D Land, which are wonderful. Whoa. Give me the Koopalings.
3D Land is good.
Let me play as Roy.
Roy!
Right now I can...
Alright, I'm not committed.
See, now, you decided to make a reference to Roy, and I decided to take it and turn it into High School Musical from that one time where she yells Troy. And
I don't know what
it's High School Musical 3.
Okay.
Alright, moving on. So
I haven't seen those movies since I was like a child.
I think about that song on the regular.
No, you don't.
It's got to turn it up, game on. Wildcat's got to turn it up.
Shut up.
What do you think generally of this pitch?
Give it a 6.2 out of 10.
I'm hurt.
6.1 because you're a bitch.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
So now that one, I will admit, was the weakest pitch. That one I knew was gonna be the weakest hit here. So now, hear me out. We're gonna move on to my Pokemon pitch, which I think, from a general standpoint, will make a lot more sense. And we talked a little bit about this one earlier. I recently got into Pokemon a lot harder than I ever have. I'm committing a little too hard, I'll admit it.
A little?
Okay. I spent some money.
Go on. Just don't even. Just go.
I bought a lot of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, stop it. Just go.
Alright, hear me out. I had initially thought about doing this after Generation 10 for my pitch. But I've changed it and rewrote it to make it so that way this game would be Generation 10. Instead of Generation 10 for Pokemon getting a dual release, we get a singular Pokemon game called something along the lines of Pokemon World Champions or Pokemon World Tour. And...
Yeah, but that wouldn't be Gen 10, though, because that sounds more like a spin-off.
I understand. But there's context.
If anything, I think that sounds like it would come out after Gen 10 and just include Gen 10.
You're right, but the problem... I'm explaining. I'm getting there.
Also, genuinely, unless they take a lot longer to work on it, I'm not really looking forward to Gen 10, honestly.
The fact that they're not working on it yet makes me excited.
They're not?
I mean, I would hope the fact that they haven't announced anything yet...
Maybe. You don't know. They could announce it and it might come out, 4 months later. Unlikely, but it's possible.
Exactly. So, my logic is, for this game, it being an anniversary release, you go to all of the previous generations.
Also, I will say, dual releases are kind of dumb at this point. Now it literally is just Pokemon exclusivity. And a slightly different gimmick. Now it's two things. One,
what you're going to get at the end.
Will you stop? Will you just listen to me?
No.
I'll hurt you.
You said you had no creative control.
I have some creative control. My name's in the title, dang it. Now, anyway. One. See, now I lost my train of thought. Okay, hold on. I got it. One, money. And two, because that's what they've always done. There's no actual reason to do two different versions anymore, besides the fact that, that's what we've always done, so we can keep doing it. Look at Arceus. Arceus just was one.
It was fantastic.
It's the best Pokemon game I've played in a long time.
I do think that I agree that it is now a trivial thing to do at this point.
Why is Let's Go two separate games, and why not just make it a remake of Yellow?
I was just going to say
Pikachu.
That is so weird. You know what? I mean, I shouldn't be surprised of us thinking
we do that a lot. So
yeah. I was literally just about to say Let's Go would have been better if it was just Pokemon Let's Go. It was not a Pokemon affiliated with it, but you picked between the two.
Not even that. Just give me Pikachu. Because what is the point of giving me Eevee if I can't evolve the Eevee? Everyone likes Pikachu. People like Raichu. Really?
I didn't know.
You didn't turn the volume down?
I didn't know.
Well, you know now. Turn it off.
I just did.
So unprofessional. Anyway, back to Pokemon.
No, okay.
Anyway, back to my Pokemon pitch.
Whoa.
It was a joke. What is the point of an Eevee if I can't evolve it?
He's a cute little guy.
I want Jolteon.
Yeah, but at that point, it makes it...
No.
No.
Jolteon's better than Pikachu. He's cooler. He's probably stronger.
I don't think that's true.
What do you mean?
For one, Let's Go Pikachu. Pikachu is broken.
Yeah, because they made it broken. Normal Pokemon, no. Also, if you could choose Eevee and then evolve it, then it would be broken because it would be that special one you chose.
Also, you could argue that if you could evolve the Pikachu, because then it would be a broken Raichu.
Yeah. The Jolteon would still be better. It's cooler.
Maybe he's orange.
He's yellow!
No. Raichu is orange. It's slightly cooler.
Spiky cat.
Big mouth. Big mouse.
What?
Big rat. Big cheese rat.
Yeah. Biggie Cheese?
Yeah, that's what I would name him. So, before the events of this hypothetical World Tour game, a tournament would take place in the Pokemon universe to determine the best gym leader of every single type. And if there is only one gym leader, it's by default them. Or if there isn't a type, if there's a gym that doesn't have a type yet, and I wouldn't know because I haven't played every game, I would imagine by now every type has had at least one gym. But hypothetically, if there isn't one that does not have a gym, that gym is in the Generation 10 world, which gives you a reason to go back and fight the enemy team that's in the area, so you're solving problems in the actual world you're supposed to be in. But you're traveling, because it's like, hey, let's say hypothetically Misty is named the best water gym leader of all time. You're going to travel to Kanto. You're going to go to... That's Cerulean City, right?
I believe so.
You're going to go to Kanto.
It's been a while.
You're going to go to Cerulean City. You're going to fight Misty. Then you're going to leave, and you're going to go to Galar, and you're going to fight Melanie, because she's ice, or whatever. You fought the other one because you had Sword. He was the rock trainer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing I don't like.
I don't. There's no reason for them to change because it's like, all right, so is this an alternate universe thing? Is it a timeline thing? Like, does one game take place beforehand?
It's very interesting to think about which game is the canon one in the timeline and which protagonist is the canon one in the timeline. Like, I think Gold...
Well, the protagonist thing is... That does have a canon.
I think Ethan is Gold's name, right? I think the male protagonist of Gen 2 is the canon one.
Yeah.
Dawn is not the canon protagonist of Gen 4. I forget the Gen 4 character's name.
I don't remember.
But he's the male character
Luke?
in Gen...
Is it Luke?
It might be.
That's probably wrong.
The Gen 4 male character is the canon one.
I think
because Dawn is supposed to be the granddaughter of the professor.
Okay, no, I think probably all the male ones are canon because usually the female ones are separate. No, they're separate. They're actual characters. Like Dawn is Dawn. It's
know what? I
May
think,
is May.
I think Sword and Shield it might be the other way around, and I think in Arceus it might be the other way around.
I don't know. Maybe.
Before the events of the game, a tournament would be determined to figure out the best gym leader of each type. And you would come back to the Gen 10 world for any gyms that don't have a type, or just to deal with the enemy team that is ravaging the Generation 10 world. Then once you have all the gym badges, and I want your help with this, from all of the Pokemon games... If you're picking an Elite Four from where it is 4 previous champions, who are you putting there? Or
Cynthia.
Or I also think Red should be there. I think Red should be there, and he's the first one.
No, I feel like Red wouldn't he be the champion
final
then?
boss?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought it would be your rival.
No, it's gonna be Red.
Okay. So Red's
unless the rival is an actual good rival, because I'm kind of over these rivals who are like
your friend and they're
like your best buddy and they just kind of suck. They're just a little.
What if the champion is Gary, Blue, in final boss form?
He wasn't as good as Red though. Like Red is the one who actually did everything.
Well, yeah. So I think Cynthia has to be there. I think Leon deserves it because...
Cynthia... I can't remember his name.
I thought Silver would have been cool.
Steven, is that his name?
Yes.
The guy from Gen 3.
Yeah, I was going to say. Silver?
Who?
Gen 2. Red hair. Your rival.
Oh. But he's not, it's a little different, though, because he's the rival when he becomes a champion. He's not like a previously established champion.
Well, that's the thing.
I was thinking,
Leon and Cynthia are the two that I can think of where it's like they're in the notable.
I can't
Mustard would be a good one.
Mustard! Anyway. You meant... I forgot for a minute there was an actual... I thought you were just making a reference. I forgot that Mustard's the guy from the DLC of Sword and Shield. I forgot. That was funny.
Volo would be a good one, but that would just be fighting Cynthia a second time.
It doesn't count. Because that's time travel.
It's also just Cynthia again.
Yeah.
Except for like 2 differences.
I can't remember her name. What's her name? The champion from Black and White 2.
I will also say the champion from Gen 9 is a good pick for me. Because that was actually a pretty intense battle on my end. But it's just like, see, now this is where the good conversation comes. Because I genuinely... You've played more Pokemon.
Iris.
Let me see.
Black and White 2. She's the chick in the anime for that season. In the first game, she's not the champion, but in Black and White 2, because it's a direct sequel that takes place 2 years later, she is the champion. I think she would be cool.
Pretty sick.
I think she'd be cool.
So, the Elite Four. So, Red is the champion. That means we have 4 slots to fill.
That's Alder. He's the one of Black and White.
Nice. So, Cynthia...
Oh, we're looking at that.
Yeah.
Cynthia, Iris.
Do we put in Blue? I think... Can we do Leon? Can we do the Gen 9 champion?
It would. I literally haven't even beaten it. So
Can you look her up?
I have no opinion.
Can you look her up?
Even if I look at what she looks like, I have no opinion about her.
Right. Okay, well then what do you think about Leon?
Eh.
What do you think about Mustard?
Eh. I think it would be cool if,
Wait, hear me out. Professor Oak. As a member of the Elite Four.
He's not even the most...
Fully evolved starters.
Yeah, but
never mind, that's Red's team.
Yeah, but also...
That's actually not true.
He's not even the most, like, prolific Pokemon professor. I think he just did it first, but, like, that doesn't make him the best. He's just a classic, because everyone knows him.
Well, okay, then let's think. Oh, wait, Looker. Now, you're going to ask...
Steven Stone. I thought it was Steven Steele. Steven Stone is the Gen 3 one. He'd be cool.
Is he a champion?
Yeah, he's a champion in Gen 3.
Oh, wait, and then you refight him at the waterfall.
What?
In Emerald, you can fight him again if you go up a waterfall on a certain route, and apparently it's a very hard fight.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm also imagining that because this is after the events of all of their games, they're all slightly older and slightly more grizzled. Maybe they've reworked their teams. We're not gonna, like, obviously, technically, at this point in the timeline, the champion of all of these regions would be the player characters from each region. Technically.
Yeah, but that's lame, so.
I agree. And I think it would be interesting.
You can just make up an excuse and be like,
however, I do think it would be interesting.
They wanted to explore, so then they just gave up their position and let the old champion take back over.
I think it would be interesting if they did appear as characters in the game and you interacted with them briefly, but I don't think they need to be there as champion other than Red. Like, I think it would be cool if, like, right before the fight with Red as the final boss, Blue and Leaf are there, and it's like, hey...
Blue and Leaf?
Oh, wait, yeah.
It's green.
Technically, no.
Her name is Green. That's her name.
She's referred to as both in a lot of media.
Well, I think it's like in the game she's green. I think she's referred to as Leaf or something in one of the shows, maybe.
I can look at it in Pokemon Masters EX.
Well, I don't know what it would be in there. Anyway, just continue.
But yeah, basically, well, if Red's the final boss, just pick 4 champions from the games. Make them your Elite Four. Make them have dope battle themes. Make it so that way they have, like, souped up versions of their team from when they were champion. Have Cynthia be the final member of the Elite Four. So it's like a really hard battle before Red. And then Red is somehow even harder because I'm imagining he has obviously, like, a fully evolved Charizard. He has a Lapras. He has his Pikachu. It's very interesting because I don't think Red's canonical team would have all 3 fully evolved starters. A lot of people think it would. I don't think he has Blastoise. I think he has Lapras. You
haven't played... He's the final boss in Soul Silver, Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah.
He has a Blastoise.
Yeah, I know. I think in later appearances and other stuff, he does not have that Blastoise anymore. Okay, so let's do all that. This game's ending leads to the Pokemon timelines merging and creating fusion Pokemon.
He has both.
What?
He has all 3 fully evolved starters, Pikachu, Lapras, and Snorlax.
That's it. That's the one. The game's ending leads to the Pokemon timeline merging into one and creating fusion Pokemon that share aspect from Mega and G-Max Pokemon. Or genuine fusion of actual Pokemon families, whichever one works best without being too gimmicky. The fusions would not appear in this game. They would be in Generation 11. But the timelines fusing at the end of this game would create these Pokemon. Generation 11's first games would be called Pokemon Fusion Red and Pokemon Fusion Blue, take place in the Kanto region, take the fan game route where you would find non-Kanto Pokemon in Kanto, and is a partial reboot with the now new and officially named Mega Max Pokemon.
I'll be honest, I do not like that at all. At all.
Elaborate. Give me work here.
I think I like Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution is, in my opinion, is the best, like, gimmick, so to speak.
I agree.
G-Max and, like, Gigantamax, or wait, what is the first one?
Dynamax
and Gigantamax. That's cool separately. I think the
design aspects
like
are from it.
The Z moves are kind of dumb. I think they're a little...
Terrestrialization is also stupid.
Terrestrialization is so dumb. It is so dumb. Let me just put a big chandelier on my Pokemon's head and they're covered in crystals now. What happened to giving them an extra evolution? Or just making them freaking huge? Like, they're just sparkly now? What are they, Edward from Twilight? Like, what is going on here? I don't think it's that bad. If you like it, cool. Great. I just don't, I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. I think mixing those two, although it would be kind of neat, I wouldn't be opposed to it, maybe, I think it's also in the sense of like, okay, you can Gigantamax or Dynamax a Mega Evolved Pokemon. That would be cool, but
I'm thinking somewhere
the stats would have to be nerfed in some way so that they would be as strong as one but not the other. Like, they'd be big and strong. Like, they wouldn't be as strong as...
I'm imagining that their size sits
it wouldn't multiply their strength.
Yeah, their size sits somewhere in between Mega and Gigantamax Pokemon, but they're more reasonably... Like, Gigantamaxing, it's not as big of a deal as Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing is in the games. It's more closer to Mega in the terms of, like, this is a thing you can do, and it's not going to be a thing you can only do once. Can you only Mega Evolve once per battle?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well then...
You know what I just realized? Mega Evolution is the equivalent of an alien going ultimate in Ben 10. Because it didn't naturally evolve that way, but what if it did?
I think, isn't Mega Evolution the equivalent of...
I mean, it's kind of more like magical.
Because you know what? I was thinking in my head that the lore reason for Mega Evolution is actually just the Ultimate Alien thing, where the Ultimatrix just simulates hundreds of years on that planet.
Millions of years.
Yeah, you're right.
It's millions of years of lore.
That is what I genuinely thought Mega Evolution was.
That's not what that. That's not what.
That's funny.
It'd be funny if it was, but that's not what it is. I don't think.
Following that, every generation gets a little bit of old and a little bit of new, with the major difference being that we get full 3D camera control in all areas, with routes from old Pokemon having changed to be slightly more like wild areas, while keeping their general linearity and similarities to the original maps. So
I don't like the reboot idea.
Give me 3D
and also
Kanto.
what I will say,
3D Kanto, and I'm tired of finding just Gen 1 Pokemon in a Gen 1 game.
Play a different game.
I'm not finished.
Yeah, you sound like you're finished. Play a different game.
Just give me the fan game route. I want to be able to find Bibarel.
Play a fan game.
No. I want to find...
Bibarel. Also, real quick, I don't mind the problem with all the trainers.
I also think
the best trainer from each
timeline merging too is the other thing.
No, I don't like that.
I think it's confusing.
It doesn't need to be there at all, but it's already there, so just keep them separate. It's whatever. I think it's okay. It's something that if you don't care, you don't have to engage with it. Because the only game that specifically acknowledges the timeline, as far as I know, is Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Right.
Because of...
Doesn't the original Ruby and Sapphire technically?
No, why would it... They didn't have that planned all the way back then.
Right.
The whole...
I was thinking of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Ultra Sun...
That's what... That is way different. That's a thing.
Wait, no, is it actually Ultra Moon? Are both of them Ultras? Both of them get the same prefix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Kind of gay.
Anyway.
Derogatory.
You going to other regions to fight said trainer is dumb. They should all come to one region because hold on.
You know why I wanted it, though.
Because they're not going to do a game with more than one region. At most, they would do two, and they haven't done that in forever, so I don't think they would do it again.
Here's the reason
why.
I'm
not
imagining they're giving you full access to the map.
Okay, let me finish. I was just going to say, if I go to another region, and I'm stuck in maybe one town at best, I'm going to be like, why even send me here? It's barely a novelty.
That's fair.
Don't bother. Bring them here. Be like, oh, we all traveled here for this tournament, and our gyms are just closed for now. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to fly. Why would I fly to them? If it's a tournament, they all come together, and it's a big collective thing. It's like a world championship instead of just a region championship.
Yeah, it's the World Pokemon League is my pitched thing that I forgot to mention the name of. But, yeah, I hadn't considered that. But also just because I wanted the novelty of it being like, hey, we are in a next-gen game, and we are seeing these areas in full 3D for a temporary minute.
I'm going to hit you with a surprise. I actually do have creative control. Boom. My pitch for a Pokemon game.
Okay. You know what? I thoroughly enjoy that. Can we retitle the episode? Is it Myles and Murph's Wacky Pitches?
Perhaps. Mine's not very wacky. I just came up with this now. Pretty much, give me the old Pokemon games, but in the way that games are made now with the HD 2D style.
Okay, so
because I love 16-bit Pokemon games.
So what you're saying is you want Octopath Traveler of.
I'm more like what's the new ones? Like the Dragon Quest remakes that are coming out, the HD 2D.
I have not.
They look really good.
It's been a hot minute.
Point is, where it's like, okay, it's sprites, and there's sprites, but then potentially some of the backgrounds are like real artwork.
And there's real shadows.
And there's shadows, and like it's
like kind of Paper Mario-esque, where they're standing and they're flat. They're visually standing, but they're flat.
It's a little more angled in those games, and maybe they would change it for Pokemon, but like. I think Pokemon lost a lot of character when it went 3D, honestly.
I agree.
The sprites and the artwork had so much character.
I agree, because the other thing is a lot of Pokemon lost a lot of saturation. If you look at, like, Gen 4...
some of them.
If you look at Gen 4 Gengar, for the record, guys, Lucario is my favorite Pokemon, but I'm on a hell of a Gengar kick right now. If you look at, like, Gen 4 Gengar, and he is bright goddamn purple, and you look at now... where he's this desaturated, like, obviously, it's ghostly. It makes sense. But this desaturated gray-purple that is so depressing. And then you look at his shiny, which is near black in comparison. I'm so glad they made Mega Gengar white. Like,
also, what are you talking about? Gengar and his shiny are, like, barely even a shade different.
That's the problem. Back then, it was more noticeable.
Not really. It's always been like that.
I don't think so, man. I think Gengar used to be like this.
You say back then like you've played those games.
You're right.
You haven't.
You know what? That's a fair... That is... I played a little bit of Soul Silver. I get to say that.
Yeah, but if you played a little bit, that means you didn't get the Kanto, which means you couldn't have gotten a Gengar. Also, you'd have to trade with it.
Well, hold on. You're saying that that Gen 1 Pokemon never appeared up until that point?
I don't think you could... I mean, there's some of them that just appear in... Gen 2 by default, like they're just there, but like not all of them. I don't. Maybe you can get Ghastly. I don't know, but you still have to trade. Who you can trade with besides me? And
that's the other thing. That's the other thing I was gonna say. This game adds the stuff from Arceus that gets rid of the necessity for trading for evolutions, because I personally think forcing multiplayer.
You know what my favorite thing about
forcing multiplayer in a game with a Pokédex where completion is a key thing is god stupid.
You know what my favorite thing about what's it called? Gen 9, you know, my Scarlet and Violet. You know what my favorite thing is? The like play together mode where you're not really playing together, but you are playing together, so that way you don't have to trade anything. Like you and I can like play in this area together, and we can go around catching the other game's Pokemon, and it's fun. I think that's cool. That should be a thing in all games from now on. Period. I think that is just a quality of life thing. That is just a general improvement on the formula, and then boom, do it. Because as long as they make two versions of games, besides the people who are super fans and also have money who buy both games, not everyone's going to buy both games.
Here's a good example.
I bought Sword, I bought Scarlet. I'm never going to buy Violet, and I'm never going to buy Shield. I can't get the Pokemon Shield without trading. I can get the ones in Violet by just playing together. That's just a general improvement.
Here's a good example. I'm about to start playing... Well, I just did recently start playing. I recently started playing Brilliant Diamond. And I decided, like an idiot, that I want to run Gengar because I'm recently obsessed with Gengar. The problem is, Gengar is a trade evolution, and I would need to trade him in order to do that. If I have 0 other Pokemon games and 0 friends, or people that are unwilling to trade with me because they're not going to start the game yet, you could just pop it open for 2 minutes, trade me one Pokemon, and then delete the save.
I'm gonna play the game at some point. That point is not yet.
I could... So the only option for me is to either transfer in an already evolved Gengar, which feels non-genuine, or to catch a Ghastly, level it up to Haunter, and then go transfer the Pokemon out, put it into Pokemon Home, put it in Arceus to use the linking cable, take it back out of Arceus, put it back into Home, put it back in it. That is too many steps! You're giggling at me because I voice crack. It was intentional.
Just don't have a Gengar on your team.
Wrong.
They don't have a Gengar.
I want Big Purple Man.
I mean, fair, I guess.
He's a great guy. Great guy.
What if in the Pokemon world, when you die, you have a chance to become a ghost Pokemon?
That would be sick.
Because there are separate ghosts and ghost Pokemon. They're two different things.
You know Gengar can hide in shadows? Like, in your shadow?
That's pretty cool.
It's terrifying.
Can he eat my shadow?
I think he can eat your soul.
Can he fight my shadow like,
But yeah, I want to run...
like Peter Pan?
I want to run a Gengar named Asmodeus, because it's just such a cool sounding name. And it's going to be great. But in order to do that, I have to do a whole process because I don't trust people to trade me stuff and then give it back. So I have to do this whole process just to get my Gengar. And it's annoying.
Still don't have a Gengar.
Wrong. They should get rid of trade evolution. Just period. And make it an item.
No,
That's what they did for Melodic.
No.
And then they changed it back for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl again.
I like the way that...
Melodic got rid of the beauty stat thing for a
Milotic.
while. It is Melodic.
Whatever.
Melodic got rid of the beauty stat thing and made it the Prism scale for several games. And then, for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl...
That's how it was originally in those games.
Yeah, that's cringe.
It's a remake. Well, I mean, it's...
I feel like you should have the option.
I mean, they wanted to be faithful to the original games, so...
I get it, but I don't get it. Same thing with Gengar and the Lincoln Cable. Make it expensive. Then
one thing I did not mention about my pitch. So, HD 2D remakes of the classic games.
Up to Gen 5.
I think
up to Gen 5.
Gen 5 doesn't need it, honestly. I mean, it could, but honestly, probably
just to put it on new hardware.
Yeah. Make the sprites look like how they move like they do in Gen 5. Because I think that was an improvement. Making the sprites be able to still be sprites, but also have even more life and character because they can move and stuff. That's great.
Because at that point, they're like almost models, but they're not really.
I mean, it's a sprite that moves. I call it moving sprite. It's a sprite can with two legs just walking.
Yeah, one Sprite Cranberry?
One Sprite Cranberry. No, I don't.
I don't either.
They're okay.
I don't like cranberries.
You're wrong.
Cranberries!
Cranberries. That's old. Anyway, and yeah, also
somebody will get that.
Also, just the original games. Not original games.
Like I said.
So like Diamond, no, not Diamond. Well, Diamond and Pearl. No, actually, no. Hold on. So those games specifically,
1, 2, 3, and 4,
and 5, but also, just do one version of each. Don't do two. And do specifically like Fire Red, specifically Fire Red.
No, do blue. Do whatever it is, but blue.
I'm not saying the name. I'm just saying that game. Like I'm saying take the remake and build on that. Don't do the original.
You're saying like when they do Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl again, they do Platinum this time.
Do Platinum
because the problem is they built it on Diamond and Pearl. They changed the gym puzzle back to the original.
And the one with the snow.
The remakes. No, the grass gym puzzle in Platinum is considerably easier. And they changed it back to the original gym puzzle from the original Diamond and Pearl for BDSP.
Okay.
And I don't like it.
Get good.
No.
Get good, no.
Genuine refusal to get good.
So back to my pitch.
Yeah, finish it up.
I just want to finish it up.
Because I have my third pitch to get
so,
to. We have...
Like Fire Red, like Fire Red, essentially. Soul Silver. Mm-hmm. Again... Whatever version, whatever they decide to name it, it's fine. They could even come up with a new thing. I don't know what they would do for some of them. Oh, that would be Crystal. That could be whatever prefix Crystal.
3 is Emerald.
Not prefix, whatever. Do a new version of Emerald.
Actually, honestly, at that point, Gen 1 should just be yellow, but they let you pick from 4 starters.
Actually, no, make it yellow, yeah. And then
4 starters with the catches that they actually give you Pichu.
The only thing that would be whatever.
Nothing?
No. Pichu? No.
Pichu. So that way, okay.
It's a 3 evolution, yeah.
You pick from Charmander, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Pichu.
I mean, I guess, but then it wouldn't really be yellow then.
That's the only difference. You get one Generation 2 Pokemon just to have it so that way all of them have... And I guess change when things level up and make it so that way... Oh, never mind. They would have to make it so Pikachu doesn't get a Lightning Stone.
Mm-hmm.
So never mind, Pikachu can't be a starter.
Whatever.
Just put him on Route 1.
Yeah,
instead of wherever he is.
And then the only one that would be maybe not a challenge, but like how would they do it, or would they do more than one?
Black and White.
Black and White and Black and White 2.
Gray.
No, because
pick one.
They're two separate games though.
Pick one.
It's different because it's not like...
How different are they? Same Pokédex, right?
I mean, yeah, but that's...
One game, Black and White 3. Gray 3.
I mean, if they just did another direct sequel in the newer, like the HD 2D art style, I'd be okay with that.
Like, just do it so it's Gray 3.
Make it a sequel instead of a remake.
And
that could work. That could work.
Is there a Kyurem that
also,
has...
it wouldn't be Gray 3 then. It'd just be Pokemon Gray.
I'm okay with that. Is there a version of Kyurem that is Ice and Fire, like White and Black Kyurem? Is Gray Kyurem a thing?
No.
Okay, then they could do that.
There's the only thing that I can think is if all three of the legendaries fused.
I was going to say, here's the catch, too. Because there would be a singular release, you get both legendaries. Because there's a singular release, we are also going to kill the concept of starters not being catchable on the overworld.
No. Make it so you can get them some other way. You get them as a gift or something. Because there are games that give you can get all the starters, but they're still not catchable. I don't want to make them catchable. Unless it's like a certain special area like in Gen 9
Late
or whatever.
Okay, okay. Fully evolved versions are in later areas. If you want the rest, you get them in it.
The whole point of
if you want the rest, you breed them.
The whole point, exactly. The whole point of you not being able to catch them is that one of your friends will have it, and they can put them in the thing and then trade you an egg. You're supposed to want to trade with people.
I don't like that. I'm
like
saying,
back in the day on the Game Boy with the link cable. You're supposed to.
In my head,
social.
I want this to be a fully I want Pokemon games in the future to be fully self-sustaining.
Cool. Make it so you get them special later. You get given them or whatever. Like how you get a Charmander from Leon.
Something like that. Or something like that.
Or where you can go back to the gym. I mean, some games you can go back to the lab, and then after you become the champion, and he'll be like whoever the
professor
is,
will be like, here's the other two.
Yeah, here have the other one.
Here's your also
because obviously
for
the rival picks the other one.
For the record, my pitch, if we're going to transition from my idea to yours, all of these games self-contained national decks, and by that I mean even though Gen 1
they do that already.
I'm not done. Even though it is a Gen 1 game, Gen 1 gets a national dex where we can trade everything in. Gen 2 gets a national dex where we can trade everything in. And it's not just Gen 2 and Gen 1.
You are aware of the fact that that's just how the games work normally, right?
Okay. Let's Go. Let's Go did a remake.
Let's Go is garbage.
I'm saying,
you do... Okay, here's an example.
BDSP is a remake, and they stayed with it being 4 and back. I think that's stupid.
Well, that's whatever. It's a remake, but my point is, at the time, it could do all those. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is a remake during the Gen 4 era. You can trade Gen 4 Pokemon into Heart Gold and Soul Silver for the national decks. That's what I'm saying. Whatever generation it's at, it does.
I'm saying in this hypothetical, because these games are being released new, Gen 1 can.
You're saying the ones that I made.
The ones you get. I'm saying in your logic, we're gonna do. Even if a Gen 1 game comes out next, we're gonna have up to Gen 9 being able to be transferred in.
Because they're remakes. I'm saying no. Unless it's a full remake. I'm just saying, okay, the way I'm saying is more of a remaster, I guess. Where it's just, hey, we made it look a little better, we spruced up the visuals, it still plays the same.
Well, okay, then here's my other pitch then. If we're gonna do this and then these 5 games come out, right? Have it so that way then at least, even though the Kanto one comes out...
Gray could have that.
No,
that's a new one. That's a sequel. That could have all.
No, I'm saying Kanto comes out. Even though it's going to be the first one of this series, have it so that way Gen 1 can still transfer in from those 5 because it's going to be one franchise.
That's fine, I guess.
So that way then, if I really want to, I could have a Tepig in Gen 1. if I really wanted to.
I mean, it's weird, but alright, I guess.
Don't have the national deck count it, just have them be transferable in. Because that's how Sword and Shield did it for a while. You could transfer a lot of stuff in that didn't count towards the Pokedex.
Yeah.
And then they added in the national dex via DLC. Now, Pokemon, great ideas. I think that your idea is slightly better than mine.
It's just more traditional.
Yeah, but I didn't want
not as
traditional.
out there.
I wanted it to be weird.
Alright, now.
Let's get on.
What is this last one?
It's cringe. This is a long one.
Let me guess. Is it Zelda fan fiction, essentially?
Yeah!
Oh, no!
So, we've seen it done.
Put me out of my misery.
Please. It is Zelda fan fiction.
Please.
This game that I have here is effectively take the concept of Hyrule Warriors and put it in the actual Zelda timeline.
I already know.
I'm not finished.
I already know.
I'm not finished.
Clearly you're not finished. This is a long one. Says 2 words. I'm out. And for those reasons, I'm out.
I understand that this game could not work as a traditional Zelda game because of the way I want it to play. So I'm saying we do a Earthbound-esque, a Octopath Traveler-esque turn-based RPG.
For every single reason on planet Earth, no. That is not what I thought you were going to say. No.
Really?
I'm vetoing it right now. We're ending the episode. No.
No, it'll be good.
Who are you? Where are we? No.
What is that?
Like the worst improv guy from Try Not to Laugh.
I don't know what that is. So, hear me out.
Shane.
A turn-based RPG with a concept similar to the crossover aspects of the plot of Hyrule Warriors, but with various Zelda bosses traveling through the timeline to cause chaos, motivated by an evil time-traveling being who, in return for helping him, can manipulate events to return them to life or allow them to seize control regardless of the original circumstances of their timeline.
So Spider-Man No Way Home.
No. No.
The bad guy is like, I can send you back to before you died, so you can beat the hero. This is Spider-Man No Way Home. This is Zelda No Way Home. What have you done?
I didn't know.
You accidentally reinvented trains again.
Eventually, the villains realize they'll be defeated a second time anyway.
You just did Zelda No Way Home.
And end up working with the heroes to return the timeline mostly back to normal. I didn't even realize what I was doing.
You ever heard of the thing where programmers will have a little rubber duck on their desk to talk to it to work problems out?
Yeah.
That's why you have the rubber duck. I am currently the rubber duck.
I'm the problem. I'm the chimp that writes Hamlet.
If you wait long enough.
If you wait long enough, the chimp will write Shakespeare.
With a chimp in front of a typewriter.
Oh, no. It's also revealed that the villains don't have the die again for them to return normal, as multiple versions of the events of each game have already happened, so it just creates other branches that aren't explored. Yeah. Instead of playing as one Link that travels through time and space to save the world, you unlock various Links and characters and villains from multiple points in the timeline, each with different abilities that match their game and item set, with the additional of an original version of the Triforce Trio, which, I mean, it's just Zelda, Link, and Ganon, that is used for the new original version of Hyrule, kind of how Hyrule Warriors has its own version of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, and like the icon versions of them kind of appearing briefly. There would be short sections of each of the game that take place in each hero's home Hyrule, and as the situation gets more dire, the various Hyrules begin to blend together, leaving Koroks, Kokirians. I'm reading ahead and...
Kokirians?
Yeah. Koroks, Ordonians, and Kokiri in the same forest, Dodongos hassling Yunobo and the Gorons, Zora's domain half frozen over, with King Dorephan enclosed in ice and Sidon in a frenzy, and the Rito in a blistering summer caused by a newly reactivated Dragon Roost volcano a few miles from the village, and Nibiru and Riju butting heads for the title of the leader of the Gerudo. Yeah, this does just sound like bad fanfiction, doesn't it?
Sounds like a spin-off I wouldn't play.
It would be structured more like a Final Fantasy / Earthbound RPG, so the Links would have regular physical attacks with their swords as well as character-specific special abilities.
Also, Riju, I don't think would fight Nibiru. I think Nibiru would just take over. Not even like forcefully. Or you'd be like, you're older and wiser. All right, you take over.
I guess. Accessible from 2 different sets of attack menus.
She's
like
still
Earthbound.
even in Tears of the Kingdom, she's only like, what, 19 or something like that?
Okay, this is where
18?
I have the
she's
most...
she's a teenager. She's a child.
I want it to be known, I wrote the most... Because I knew I would be pitching this to you, I wrote the most lore specifically for Ocarina of Time Link.
Okay.
The Hero of Time would have abilities from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Like Fierce Deity, the Masks, and maybe even the Moon. I don't know what abilities to carry. I'm not finished.
It feels too. What's it called? Hyrule Warriors, where you can like bring the moon down.
Honestly,
like,
I think
tiny.
I might have said something for. I might have saved that for Skull Kid later. I don't know what abilities specifically, other than the Sage spells, not the Goddess spell attacks that you get in Ocarina of Time. But I'm kind of saving those for Zelda.
Goddess spell attacks?
You get...
you mean the magic you get?
Ferrari's Wind, Din's Fire, and
I guess they are named after
Nair's Wisdom. But I'm saving them for Zelda. Because I don't know what else to carry over from Ocarina of Time for Link. So, because most of that stuff gets carried over into Majora's Mask anyway. In the lore of the game, he's coming back to Hyrule from Termina and find out that only Termina experienced the time loop. So he's been there for much longer. In reality, maybe a little less than a year. So he comes back to Hyrule sometime during when he would have been in the Sacred Realm during the events of Ocarina of Time with the partially massacred Hyrule. Due to having defeated Ganondorf and Majora, he's still very experienced, but still immature and cocky because he saved the world twice. You know, it gets to you.
He's not like that. And 2, I thought what you were going to say is this Link is the Link who grows up being a hero and just being a regular knight, not being known as a hero. I want him to be adult Link, not 17-year-old adult Link from Ocarina of Time. I want him to be in his 30s Link. Who is the knight who will become the hero shade.
This is sort of kind of like that. He is infuriated when he returns to a massacred Hyrule, expecting his warnings to the royal family from when he comes back in time to have been enough to prepare them before he left in a Ben 10,000-esque story. What? Oh, in a Ben 10,000-esque story is always transforming and using his mask to help people however he can. You know how Ben 10,000 patrols the planet as Accelerate?
Yeah.
He manages to warn the Gerudo about Ganondorf before he gets Twinrova to brainwash Nabooru, allowing him to begin forming a resistance with the other races of Hyrule, and uses Gerudo Valley as a temporary base of operations. 1 year after...
Okay, well, hold on. This doesn't make sense, though. The timeline you're talking about where he goes to Termina...
He's about 14.
He beats Ganondorf, goes back in time, warns him about Ganondorf, they stop him. There's no massacre, there's no fight. They stop him already.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying in this spin-off that doesn't happen. They don't stop Ganondorf and seal him away before.
So he goes back in time, tells them they don't believe him?
Or something along those lines. He goes to Termina, something happens in between that time.
Well, the whole reason for him, that doesn't make sense though, because the whole reason for him going to Termina is because
he thinks that the world's going to be fine when he leaves.
No. He goes to Termina to look for Navi.
Yes.
Because he saved the world. Ganondorf is defeated. There's nothing else to do. Navi leaves.
Yeah, but then Ganondorf obviously comes back in Twilight Princess anyway. We're just... Okay.
He was chained up and he breaks out.
He was chained up
presumably a long time.
We're going to pretend here
unless
that
that first scene takes place relatively soon after. Wait, no, because they're the sages in that who are alive in Ocarina of Time are like spirits at that point. So that has to be a while.
We are going to pretend that him breaking out of the spirit realm, like in Twilight Princess, happens like the minute Link leaves Hyrule. Not really. Like sometime during the magical time travel year that Link is in Termina. About 1 year after he returns, so about 2 years into his original slumber that would be occurring during Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
He's pulled from his timeline to help against a threat to another Hyrule, with stakes that could change the entire timeline if left alone. It's revealed that the big bad shenanigans in the alternate Hyrule is what caused Ganondorf to be able to rise back to power in his Hyrule. This causes him to spiral a little bit, leads to a boss battle against his actual fierce deity form.
Wait.
You fight. Ocarina of Time, Link crashes out after finding out that... Ocarina of Time Link crashes out when he's like, you're telling me that I couldn't have prevented this. effectively goes Fierce Deity mode. Zelda plays the Song of Healing on her ocarina in an attempt to return him to normal, but instead of turning him fully back to normal, it's just him wearing the Fierce Deity armor with his blonde hair and green tunic, and he has the powers but not the rage. And his eyes aren't white anymore. They're just his normal eyes. He's able to use the strength and the gear of the Fierce Deity in his normal form, allowing him to use that extra strength during his transformation. So you'd have Fierce Deity Deku Link.
So is he Fierce Deity size, or is he Young Link size? Or Adult Link size?
I hadn't considered that.
Because Fierce Deity's a large man.
I think he sits somewhere in between.
Alright.
Allowing him to use that extra strength, and also during his transformations, and without being forced to use the double helix sword. The other catch is that he does have. I did write that in here.
Also, he's not forced to use the sword. It's
the other catch is that the Fierce Deity form is no longer 7 feet tall, and it doesn't change his voice, but he's still ridiculously strong for what is technically a mask.
Change his voice like he talks in the game.
No, because his the Fierce Deity's voice is deep is Adult Link's voice. He's like 13 in this.
Okay.
So it's 13.
He was 14 earlier.
It's a very tall 14-year-old that is effectively Fierce Deity.
Also,
size.
if he was 2 years in to his slumber, he'd be 12.
Yeah, but I'm imagining Ocarina of Time's events take about a year, so he's like 13.
But that still wouldn't add up.
He's 10 when he.
If he's 10, he goes to Termina. So you said he was there for a year.
There for a year.
So he's 11.
Oh, wait, no, he would be 12. Ocarina of Time is 1 year, in my head. Termina is another year, so he's 12. So he would be 14. I wrote it bad.
Yeah.
So Adult Link, Fierce Deity Link is like his main thing now. He's just God all the time. Ocarina of Time Zelda, dressed as Sheik, doesn't put on the personality.
Okay.
Because, like, at this point, she's like, everybody's time traveling, everybody knows. So, in other words, I'm just imagining Sheik's body, Zelda unmasked. So it's just like, guys, you know who I am. I'm not gonna do this. She disguises herself during combat. Like Link, she's pulled from the timeline about 2 years after Link would have entered the Sacred Realm. For the sake of this story, it's assumed that Link travels back in time after the events of Ocarina of Time, but Ganondorf still managed to at least partially succeed in taking over Hyrule, despite Zelda and the royal family being warned. So yeah, I did write it. I just wrote it later. Zelda still flees with Impa and still begins her Sheikah combat training and remains hiding in Kakariko. Twilight Princess Link. I didn't write a lot. He can turn into a wolf. And has the Twilight Princess item set, like the top. Twilight Princess Zelda gets the Bow of Light and her rapier that she never uses.
Okay.
Skyward Sword Link gets his Loftwing to effectively have the Pokemon equivalent of fly. His Skyward Slash,
he just runs around on the ground and just pecks at people.
Yeah! His Skyward Slash and various more unique items introduced in this game, like the Beetle, the Whip, and the Gust Bellows.
Okay.
Skyward Sword Zelda / Hylia would have a moveset based on her harp or just be a healer.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild Link / Tears of the Kingdom Link would have Sheikah Slate and Zonai arm abilities, which you can access by whatever this version's Game of the Move tutor is. See, now this is the funny... Okay, I'm imagining that, like, whatever Link doesn't get, Zelda has. So if you're arguing that... we're going to have it so that way this is Tears of the Kingdom Link, and I know. If this is Tears of the Kingdom Link, Zelda gets the Sheikah Slate like in Hyrule Warriors.
Okay.
But I don't know. Give her the powers. Give Breath of the Wild Zelda the powers she gets from Sonia and Raru, and spoiler alert, the Light Dragon.
Okay.
I know that these three are not the same Link. We're going to pretend they are for this. Past Worlds Awakening Link. Because they have the same item set generally and the same aesthetic. With the catch being they have Link's Awakening Bow Wow and the Windfish.
Is Bow Wow the chain chomp?
Yes. 4 Swords Links. All 4 of them as one character.
Triforce Heroes Link. They're not here. And don't you dare say, technically Link with 2 Worlds Link. No, it's not. I refuse. It's a different art style. I'm
not going to argue with it. I don't know that I need to elaborate much on this one, but I imagine them working similarly to how Mario and Luigi work with their baby forms in Partners in Time.
I thought you said they were all the same person.
No. All 4 of them occupy one character slot. As in, it's so all 4 of them.
4 links in a trench coat?
No. Well, yeah. It's just their art where they're like, Blue Link carries bombs around, Red Link uses the bow.
What if
Purple Link gets the boomerang, and regular Link uses the sword and shield?
What if all 4 of them just have like a suit of armor and they pilot it like a mech? Like Power Rangers.
The problem is Toon Zelda gets the Phantom.
What if Link... Hey guys, what's up? I'm Zelda. No, you're not. I'm Zelda.
Oh, wait, never mind. That's part of my Tetra pitch. Tetra. Pretty obvious concept, but she'd also have moves where she turns into Ghost Zelda with the Phantom suit. I know you're screaming on the inside. Okay, here we go. This is where you're going to get interested again. Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. Based on his mini-boss form. Not the Ganon fight.
If he doesn't have an emote and or a move where he can whip out a full organ and play the organ...
It's based on that scene. He's able to fly above the battlefield and use the Dead Man's Volley, as well as having Phantom Ganon to effectively use as Greninja's decoy. That it's not just Greninja. He's the first Pokemon I can think of that has it. Substitute.
Yeah, that's a move that a lot of people have.
To deploy as a free hit or to confuse the enemy, and Dark Beast Ganon as a special move or finisher. Twilight Princess Ganondorf pulls the Sword of the 7 Sages straight out of his abdomen and primarily attacks using that.
That's what he does in Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I know. Along with some references to his Smash 4 moveset. You know, because he's dope.
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf uses the 4 weapons.
I'm sorry.
Uses the 4 weapons. Uses the 4 weapons from Tears of the Kingdom and turns into his Demon King form when he gets to half health and regains some of the health and doubles his defense. Effectively just being Dark Beast Ganon. Demon form Ganon. Demise has the Lightning Strike Skyward Slash and his giant sword. Would probably become the Imprisoned.
Ugh.
Which would also be reflected in the first of his 2 boss battles, where you'd have to attack. I'm not done. You fight him as the Imprisoned first, and like you know how you have to target like which Pokemon you have to attack. You have to target the fingers and toes individually, just like the real boss fight. Next, Girahim.
I want you to be very clear. Assuming this is a real game, and assuming I would care enough to play it, if I got to that fight, I would turn it off, delete my save file, uninstall the game. Immediately. I would eat the cartridge.
I know.
I would chew it to pieces.
I know.
I would never touch it again.
Girahim. He would be able to turn into his final...
How many characters do you have?
These are the last 2.
Alright. You're on thin ice.
There's more. There would be more. Like I'm imagining Impa, the Sages, Midna. I just didn't pitch all of them.
Alright, keep going.
Girahim. He would turn into his final form to increase his strength and defense for a few turns. But other than that, he'd have most of his earlier, more flashy, like sword fighty moveset, including a disarm, which allows him to use an enemy's weapon against them for 1 turn if it succeeds.
For his idle animation, I want him to pull out a peach and eat it, and then that's it.
Your hair smells like peaches. What the fuck? Calamity Ganon. I don't think I really need to elaborate much on this one either, but he'd focus on the Blight abilities. And the Blights would probably be multiple time fought mini-bosses during the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom portion of the game. That's my last character.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's my last character pick.
Alright, thanks everybody for listening.
No. Okay, other than the confusing lore here, and the fact that this is just Hyrule Warriors, the turn-based RPG.
I give it a 4.
No, I want you to counter-pitch me for like just a few minutes. Assuming you are at gunpoint and you are being forced to write. I know, because you're going to be like, my counter pitch.
I am being forced at gunpoint.
My counter is assuming your counter pitch has to be an Anniversary-esque game that acknowledges that has all of these characters in one game.
Don't.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It just sounds like Hyrule Warriors, but
turn-based RPG.
Worse.
I thought there was something here. I knew that there was only one way I could get you to
I am not saying that it's a bad idea.
I think
people would enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't play Zelda.
Help me here.
I don't play Zelda for it to be an RPG.
Pitch me something you would enjoy. Because I think that it would be cumbersome for it to play like a regular Zelda game and for you to switch between 10 different links.
Don't switch between 10 different links.
Have one link have all the abilities?
Why does there need to be all the links? Just because it's an anniversary game doesn't mean it has to talk about, hey, let's throw in everything from every game.
It's a spin-off. I figure it would be cool to be like, hey, the timeline? Fuck it. Here it is. Here's everything. I want the...
That's a Breath of the Wild you already did, though, with references from every game, pretty much.
Yes, but, like, I want banter between the links. I want the Ganondorfs working together. They don't talk. Yeah, I know. But for normals... This isn't a normal game circumstance.
So are you telling me you want to sit there and be like, huh? Ah!
No, I want... Huh? Ah! It's an RPG. There's voice acting.
And you're going to sit there and be like...
Riveting.
That's a 10.
Yes! Wait.
Also, a lot of like turn-based RPGs, some of them don't have voice acting.
Well, then exactly. No. So, Midna, I'm going to pitch more characters.
No, we're not doing more characters. We're not doing more characters.
I'm kidding. But, okay, conceptually... Other than the fact that my lore is bad, do you think this is something the community would appreciate?
I
think they'd have fun with
probably not. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying name a Zelda game, even spin-offs that are RPGs. Turn-based RPGs.
Fair. Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. I'm kidding. It's not.
The only one that even is kind of close is what's that game you were playing a while ago?
Cadence of Hyrule?
Yes, which is the closest it's ever going to get, and
that's not a turn-based RPG at all. It's a rhythm game.
Well, yeah, but like you move to different locations and then you attack and
yeah, I get it.
I didn't say it is. I said it's the closest thing.
I get what you mean. It mostly spins from me just wanting to do something crossover related because of, like, I love the franchise so much. I think it would be cool to see the various Zeldas and various Links and various Ganons and the other villains interacting. Like, imagine, like, the funny banter, the funny villainy banter that would be between Girahim and Zant that is just comedic. Because it's like... No, I'm the best side villain.
Yeah, I think that's cool, but I think that should just be done. Like Nintendo should just make little shorts, animated shorts, where like like how in old like Cartoon Network commercials, where like there'd be a break room for all the characters and they'd walk in and talk to each other and stuff. And like,
oh yeah,
like Batman wanted Ben 10's autograph, like stuff like that. That's funny. That's funny. Like do stuff like that. Like do little shorts where you could see that stuff. But I don't think it needs to be in a game format, unless it's like. Unless the way you go about it
That's
is...
the best use of Kevin Conroy's voice acting ever.
Wrong. If you just pick...
Giving a tribute to Ben 10.
Literally...
The greatest cartoon of all time.
Batman, the animated series. The Arkham game. I know you're doing a bit, but I'm not.
It's like, I'm not even going to feed into this terrible picture.
If you just take like maybe two of them, focus on two, and combine them, that would be cool. Because then you could have... Instead of just being like, oh, here's a dozen different links. Have it so there's... two separate links who are both established heroes at that point, and like they run into each other, and maybe they both immediately think the other one's an imposter because they're already going to go save their princess or whatever.
You pick who you're going to play as,
and then they have a fight. That would be cool.
So give me is it Edge of Time that is just you and Miguel?
Mm-hmm.
Give me Spider-Man Edge of Time Zelda Edition. There's Tears of the Kingdom link and Ocarina of Time link. Wait, I'm okay with that. New pitch.
But yeah, I think wanting
4 minutes and 50 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. That is how long it took for me to mention Zelda in this video about Zelda.
If you try and do everything, it's gonna be too much. If you just take two, slap them together, I think that would be cool.
Yeah. See, now this is what I wanted. Now we just more.
That's all the time we have time for.
That's not true.
That's all the time we have time for. That's English, yeah, maybe.
All right, I think that was a fun one. I want to do this again. I got to come up with more stuff.
I don't.
No. In all seriousness, I think let's.
This was an interesting topic, and we maybe will explore something similar to it again.
Can we tier list my ideas?
No. Oh, right now?
Yeah. Just 1, 2, 3. Which obviously I think Pokemon goes on top because it's the most credible.
Pokemon, Mario, Zelda.
Oh, so the Zelda one is the worst, even though the Mario had the least meat.
My Pokemon, your Pokemon, Mario.
Well, yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, actually, I agree.
Well, I mean, they're also just spruce the game up a little bit and sell them again.
Well, yours is derivative of the original thing. Mine is fully let's do a tournament. I wrote lore. And then a spin-off lore.
I mean, I literally came up with it during this, so I didn't think of that about that.
No,
before,
yeah.
So.
Which, honestly, I think that we should come up with pitches for each other. That would be a fun, separate experience.
Perhaps.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for listening.
I want to talk about Pokemon again because I'm just on a kick, you know.
Thank you for listening,
guys. Wait! Hit that like button. Add this to your watch later.
What?
Add it to your favorites.
What? Oh.
Subscribe. And follow me on... we don't have that yet. I can't make that bit. I can't do that joke yet.
Follow us on nothing except here.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Subscribe. Add us to your favorites. Like, comment, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe.
It's a bit much.
Add it to your favorites.
It's a bit much. You said that 3 times.
Comment. Add it to your favorites.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
We love you.
We don't love you. We hope you have a good day. We hope you have a good day, and we will
I did yesterday.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.